Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is, I'll hit start though. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Conrad, and how are you, buddy? This is Shannon.
Hello, friend.
Today marks a certain day in our history. Some people will call it 7 years after the last day of the world. Some people will say it's the 27th of July. I subscribe to the second person. It's the 27th of July.
That's correct.
2022, which is 2022 years after our Christ was murdered. Right?
Nope, that's
That's right.
Nope,
I think that's right.
That's not
Yeah,
right.
AD is what I meant. So thank you guys for being here on Con Radio YouTube page. I got these new earphones. Be the first show I've been wearing these in. I found them at an estate sale. So right now I'm listening to a Tennessee Oilers game on them. So
Okay,
it's a little bit distracting, but it's
I
all
didn't
it's
know the
tuned in.
Oilers. I didn't know the Oilers were still out there, bud.
Just in these earphones, buddy.
Forgive me. I was just texting.
Yeah,
the last interview.
Oh yeah, you were texting.
Yeah.
We just got done doing an interview, or actually 2 interviews. So now we're doing the show without other people, just with each other. We're playing with each other now. And so you can subscribe like you are on YouTube. Thank you. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to Con Radio, and you can watch those interviews that we just did, or you can watch any of the other episodes that we've done. And it's free, or it costs you money if you go to Patreon and you want to help us out and support us for $5 a month. It's up to you. But it's usually free, you know, just to be totally upfront with it. I don't like to charge for it because I feel like maybe we could get more people if it was free. So that's why we do that.
Holy cow! Okay, yeah. Well, we had a great interview. We had a couple great interviews today. Very personable, asking about what we're about, what's going on with the show and
it was hard for me
the old podcast
to kind of do them today because of what I seen.
What's going on, buddy?
Well, I was on this morning. I watched my obligatory Balance of Nature commercials. But then there was also a new commercial. There's a new class action lawsuit going on.
Buddy? For who?
There's a army base somewhere in this country
that had asbestos.
Worse, contaminated water. So if you served at this certain military facility, what I
Fort Hayes
enjoyed about the commercial, or the PSA, I guess you would say, is if you're listening to this PSA about being enlisted in the military during the years such and such and such and such, and you were stationed at Fort Bragg during those times, there's a chance you have contaminated water. And what they should say is you've had contaminated water. Like, unless you went there and didn't drink, because if they're having to admit it, it means the water was really bad.
Really bad.
It was really bad. You already know that you had contaminated water because you're probably not alive.
Probably something about raw sewage.
Probably not alive.
We don't know. Yeah.
So
that's why they said, hey, we're just reaching out if you were here.
When that stuff kind of happens,
you can't give poor people bad water.
Poor people love water, and if it's bad,
and then
you're killing the poor.
Yeah.
And maybe that's your plan the whole time.
Well, think about it.
Communist, socialist, whoever's killing, whichever one you are. So that started my day off bad.
I'm sorry, dude. You should have gotten cheered up by the professionalism of our interviews. I mean,
yeah, it cheered me up. I feel better.
Really
now.
Nice. Just so nice to have a wife and husband duo out there taking on the world. It's just a breath of fresh air is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And doing something that no one wants to do. Like, I got you. What do you not want to do?
Doing taxes, and it is
no
nice
one wants to do that.
Yeah, it doesn't. No one wants to do that. No one wants to talk about the heat right now, or everyone does, but no one wants to get serious with it. And what I mean is crimes are being committed right now in this heat.
True.
And I'm not talking about new crime, which has always been a passion of mine, but old crime. Lake Mead is drying up. And as it dries up, each foot that gets exposed of that floor,
they're finding more dinosaurs.
They're finding more bodies, dude. They just found another. That's 2. There's 2 bodies in Lake Mead. Skeletons, not I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
You can tell
Well, the mom's getting lazy, dude. It used to be drive out in the middle of the desert,
bury a hole.
watch out for people making meth out there in a trailer, turn the other way and then bury a body. Now they're just dumping them off a bridge. That's what you're telling me?
I
They've
guess
been dumping
they've
bodies in
been
Lake
doing
Mead.
it.
Yeah.
They had done it at some point, and they
Right.
dumped them at Lake Mead, which I think is one of the. It's up north somewhere, I think.
Lake Mead, isn't that the one by Vegas? That's why I said mobsters.
Yeah, I meant north of Mexico. I usually go that way, so it was north of Mexico, right through the Vegas
No, that's
area.
not true. You usually use Denver as your starting point, so it's
It's west of Denver,
west of
probably
Denver.
exactly the same height though.
A few miles. Yeah.
So you can go to Lake Mead right now, and it is drying up. So if you want to,
Do yourself a favor, just look at pictures, just Google it. It's beautiful, and I'm sure they probably don't have pictures of the bodies. Now, if you're into that, you're gonna have to wait for
there'll be a podcast
the Lake
about it or
Mead
something.
documentary.
Yeah,
or a podcast you can subscribe to.
So I don't know. People aren't talking. I mean, you would think that would be a bigger story,
right?
Like there would be all the pundits getting on, like, guys, as the Earth is heating and the water is getting sucked up through evaporation.
Yep.
The water table's sinking.
Go down.
And those pictures at Walmart of all the missings?
That's where they are.
Found them. They're in Lake Mead.
They're in Lake Mead. For whatever reason.
Or they'll be in a different lake. And luckily the whole country's on fire, dude. So
we're running out of water.
Figuratively or literally.
So I think it's time for the poor people to kind of just stand up, join us. We're poor. And say, hey, I know it hasn't rained in a while, but we need water.
It's supposed to be coming this Friday, I think, is what they said.
I'm pleased to announce that if you go to waterhead.com, water sticks are still the same price. We've not raised them, although we could. We should.
I'm trying to get the login for waterhead.com so I can start putting our other products
stuff
on
up there. Well, it was nice to talk to Michael Irvin today.
Yeah.
He married a genius, beautiful woman that he'd been after for a while. And, let that be a lesson to everybody out there. If you're trying to get to somebody's heart, help them out with something they're interested in. Help them out with something they're passionate about.
It gives you guys something to talk about.
For sure.
If you always are disinterested in everything somebody's saying, guess what? You're not interested in that person.
And by the way, Isaac, reach out, because if you didn't laugh when Conrad said that you look like Michael Irvin, I don't know what we're doing.
I'm sure. I mean, I didn't say look like it. I said I know where Michael Irvin is now.
Right now.
Yeah.
He's
a lot of people have been asking, and I found him.
He's doing
taxes
with his wife, and that's a good deal.
I had this thought. It's kind of a long way to get there, but I'll get there. Remember when we went to the rodeo?
And which one? The roping event?
Not the roping event.
Or the rodeo.
We went to a rodeo and sold tacos to cowboys that love mail.
That's true. In Meeker,
Oklahoma. And we don't usually get to watch any of the activities that go on in the rodeo arena because we're busy serving the food to people and or whatever, talking to cowboys about their latest pamphlet they got.
Or watching for helicopters that swoop in after someone gets gored by a horn.
And so
it's happened.
What's so crazy is in the rodeo, and I guess in farm life, there are these farmers that have learned how to take this certain kind of dog, and they've been able to train this dog to manipulate cows into a gate or manipulate sheep into a gate. And they can, go around the backs of these cows and get them all in a group and then force them into whatever area that the owner, not the dog, wants them. The owner's telling the dog where to put them.
Yeah.
And what is
shock over there?
Yeah. And so it's not like the dog is so smart that he's organizing your farm, but he is smart enough to be like, dog, if you tell me how to do it or where you want them, I can put them there.
Yeah.
I can get your cows over there. And don't you think it's interesting that is like, that's basic. That's first technology. You don't need
dogs.
It's the first technology was a dog.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is why haven't, or maybe people should feel maybe lucky. Because don't you think you could take that same training and men could have used that in a nefarious way? Meaning, you look at a picture like New York City where all these women are walking down the street and all of them are very beautiful.
New York City, New Jack City.
New Jack City probably has a similar problem, but
robot dogs.
I mean, if you go into down where Hollywood, where all the celebrities eat yogurt.
No, I don't want to go down there.
But what I'm saying is that exists. There's a yogurt there's called the yogurt corridor where celebrities eat yogurt.
Yeah.
And if you were a cowboy with one of these shepherd dogs that was trained to get women, you could actually
What?
force a pile of women
Yeah.
into a trailer
I see.
and drive them off to,
How do you know that's not happening now?
I don't, maybe it is. I guess I don't think that it's happening because I haven't heard about it, but that you wouldn't hear from the women and the dog's not going to say anything. But I think you would see it happen.
I mean, you gotta let evolution take its
And
course,
people might
but
say, "Oh, I'm not going to let a dog tell me what to do."
yeah, you
Yeah,
are.
you will.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
You
you are.
already do.
Yep.
And if there is like a mean cowboy, which I imagine,
Getting his mail
that
and saying,
is
"Hey,
telling, "Hey, dog, get these women. This is
now
the yogurt pile here. Get these yogurt women
get
into
this
my
group,
trailer."
into the trailer." I don't know if that's not happening. I'm gonna tell you right now.
With my hair like this, I look kind of like a
you look
human
you
trafficker.
do look like a human trafficker. One of my dogs could do that right now. Millie, little Amelia. She's one of them weirdo Australian dogs.
Yeah,
She's
she's an
a blue
Australian
heeler,
shepherd blue heeler
a
dog.
shepherd blue heeler, and she likes to take anything and steer it wherever she wants them to go. I mean, doesn't matter if you're on a four-wheeler, truck, walking, doesn't matter. She does it instinctively.
But don't you think
It's in her blood.
it's in their blood,
Yeah, it's in their
and
blood.
it is used usually for good, for work
Yeah, usually to
reasons.
save a cowboy's life that's getting ready to, die from a bull that he fell off of, or I mean, you put yourself
Or
in
you
a
don't want to lose
position.
your sheep, or you don't want to lose
No,
the pigs, or
right.
whatever it
Go
is
out
that
and
they're
find the
shepherding.
cattle. And then
You
just
know,
they're gone for about an hour, and all of a sudden here comes the cattle. And guess what's behind? That little dog going side to side, just herding up all those cattle.
wouldn't it be crazy if somebody was using that skill for evil? You know,
Oh,
and
rounding up
rounding
women,
up
kids or something.
kids
Yeah.
or women or
I stand by my question. How do you know that's not happening? Just because there wasn't a story on TMZ,
yeah.
but
Well, that's how I know. But I mean, that's the only way I can know is I don't see it happening. But I do see all the missing kids at Walmart.
yeah,
I look at that every
all
time,
the time.
and
Some of them's been missing since the '80s.
it could be
We don't
shepherd
know.
related, I guess.
I'm gonna guess Lake Mead, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
Uh,
It's just weird that we don't use,
dogs more for the right purposes.
or maybe that we're not thanked. Like, hey, man, thank you for not training your dog to force women into a trailer. I know that you could have.
It could be so many other things too. You can get a little dog into some sort of deal to go steal diamonds or something. To get a robbing going.
Oh, hijinks, like a
Yeah,
hijinks
like a hijink situation.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get a dog to do a lot of,
Little extra training, but that's fine.
and really, if you get him the vest, a service dog, when you get checked at Walmart or
Yeah.
Target when you're leaving and somebody's like, "Oh, hey, can you have a receipt?" They don't always do it.
No, they
But
don't.
if they do, they're not going to check
The dog.
the luggage rack that you put on this dog.
Yeah, they're not gonna check the dog.
And if you put the right kind of service thing, you can put all kinds of
If you put a
merchandise.
couple of the full balonies, one on each side, on like a little wiener dog service dog or something.
Yeah, like a saddlebag. You put a couple
Yeah.
saddlebags on a
That's
dog.
a good idea.
They're not going to check that, dude. You
Hey.
can steal everything, and that's crime. But is it if it's for your family? I don't know.
Thank you for not doing that. I'm thanking you.
Thank you for thanking me.
You're welcome.
Because I could do that because I thought of it, and so it would work. But
I've got something that you should thank me about. I was wandering around a couple nights ago, and
we got to get to the biggest part of the show too, though. We had a trip yesterday.
we did have a trip. This will be quick.
Okay.
Just thank me that I didn't send this little deal to your wife because I thought about it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Was
Well, it was
an attorney's number or something?
No, this little guy, little science wants to be a science guy. I guess asked the stupid question of how much pee is in
How much pee is in where?
there? Yeah, in public pools
Oh,
and
a lot.
and hot tubs. So he grabbed some samples and then he went to some sort of professional that's cracked the code. I don't know how this happened up in Canada, Ontario way.
Yeah.
And she had some sort of spectrometer or something, and she cracked the code
She's
how
put her
to
tongue in the water.
how to figure out how much is in
Yeah.
there. It's disturbing as far as the
It
average.
shouldn't surprise you. Here's what I'll tell you about peeing in a pool.
All right.
If I've ever been in a pool,
Yep.
all the pee I've made is in the pool.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking how much pee's in there,
A lot. All of it.
as much as I can give it,
Right.
I've peed in here.
Sometimes twice.
A lot of times twice. If you've left to go pee twice, I also had to pee,
right?
and I just peed.
If you left to go pee twice, look at all the people still in the pool. They've peed.
They've peed.
So
Nobody's like, "Oh, these people are all very dehydrated." Nope, they're not.
since we're in America,
Mhm.
I'm going to ask you this question in American terms. How many gallons do you figure is in an Olympic size regular? When you say Olympic size, I'm talking about like a community pool.
Yeah.
How many gallons at any given time of pee is in there?
Well, I
Do
would
you think on
say
average? Sometimes lower, sometimes higher.
4 quarts to a gallon. Um,
It takes
so
a little math. I know. Take your time. As
I would
I
probably
got it
say
wrong.
everybody leaves a quart.
I got it real
There's
wrong. I got it.
maybe 1,000 people, so maybe like 100 gallons. 100 gallons of pee.
Yeah, it was like 113.
Pretty close though, bud.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have to go to school.
No, you didn't. You didn't have to be a scientist.
Nope, I just knew a little bit of math. I knew how to translate quarts to gallons.
Well, he really hit it home in the video because he filled up milk jugs, which, by the way, are 1 U.S. gallon,
Mhm.
and he put them on long. Put some food coloring in. I'm sure it wasn't pee. Come on, but he made them all the same color.
Yeah.
Put the cap back on them and then lined them up on an Olympic-sized swimming pool. And I know what you're thinking: 100 gallons, 113 gallons, whatever. It seems like a lot. It is.
It is.
It is, especially when you see it. See it.
Yep.
That's a lot of milk. I mean, jugs full of pee that's in that pool. But guess what? It's sterile. I mean, people like Bear Grylls he's out there drinking his own stuff.
No, it'd dry your skin up,
Yeah,
but it's sterile.
there's certain
Yeah.
things.
That's what makes your skins pruny.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I
pee.
I also I also learned something about this. That hey, you ever seen that? You ever smell that chlorine smell?
Mhm.
You know
That's
that
urine I'm
yeah,
smelling.
it is. That's urine because the chlorine reacts with it.
So
And
if you
then,
ever walk into, especially an
yeah,
indoor,
hotel indoor pool,
and
and you
it's
get
like,
that
oh
thick,
my lord, that's
and your
so
eyes
much
start
pee in
and
here.
your eyes start
Yep.
watering. Putting more chlorine in it doesn't get the pee out, guys. It
No.
just changes it to a
Gas.
vapor gas that just, I mean,
Right.
really gets up in your right in your teeth. Gets right up in there,
Yeah, like mustard gas,
much like mustard gas. Yeah.
right?
But I thought I was like, I can't send this.
No,
Nobody needs to know about it.
nobody needs to know, and she already would know.
Oh,
My
she
wife
knew.
would.
She knew.
It's kind of like the people that
I
say,
thought
like,
of her because she likes to get into scientist stuff, and this guy was
well,
really
and
smart.
she hates disgusting things and thinks that she can control them somehow, and you can't.
No, you can't.
And especially her. I mean, she's married to me,
Yeah.
so everything that you've done,
Yeah.
has been eliminated.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
by the way, I mean, here's the deal. I'm the weirdo. I'd rather swim in fish and turtle pee
mhm.
and maybe get bitten by snakes or something, or maybe a muskrat comes over there and bites you in the arm or something. I'd rather go out to the old pond
Yeah.
than and I've done my
You know
I've
what
done
I really like,
my
though?
due diligence
Right.
swimming in swimming pools. I've drank
You've done
enough
it.
of other
Well, you
people's
owned a
pee.
swimming pool, Golden Boy. You had one at the house growing up, and that's something.
I didn't have it until I
I mean,
had it later.
not growing
Yeah,
up, but
right.
you had one there,
Yeah, there was one there.
and
I took advantage of it.
you did. And I think though that is what I would like. I don't like the public pool, although
Right.
as a sexual predator, you might like certain aspects of it. And if you had
Um,
the right dog, maybe we could get some of these
Yeah,
people
if we could have if I could teach Millie to round up, you know,
anywhere from 18 and a half to
I'm
21-year
getting
olds.
older,
Yeah, that's true.
so anywhere from 30 to 60
Yeah,
be
30 to 60 would be your window
that's
there.
my window.
Well, I enjoy looking like every person that today I identify as he, him,
You do.
and you
Hey,
identify.
stay woke.
What are you?
Same
He, him today. So as that, and also my sexual preferences today
today.
is for the people that identify as she, her.
That's right.
And so when
No,
I
you
go
didn't
to
ask me about me.
what is yours today?
I'm bisexual.
Today you are bisexual?
Today,
Okay.
I
Well, you
like
would still like to go to a public pool then.
I like single women and lesbians.
Okay, but that's a good point. I'm also bisexual then today too.
Are you?
Yep.
You just changed?
I changed it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just like to throw that out there. I don't care what you are, women. I don't care if you're a Furby. Are you a woman?
Yeah. I
So,
don't care what
mean,
you're I
I
really
might
don't
be
care what you're
trisexual. Is that a thing? Trisexual?
Yep.
I like
add
Furbies,
it.
women,
Sure.
Furbies, lesbians, and then just straight. Is the women cisgender too? I don't know. Is it?
I think so.
Is that?
think you can add
I'm
them.
trying to keep up with all the technical
I know
terms.
we are. That's why we're staying woke.
I try to make it easy too. If you're a woman,
Mhm.
I'm about it.
Yeah, we're about it.
Yeah.
We're about at least today. And so
Check us tomorrow. It might change.
it would change, maybe, probably not, but maybe. So that thanks for tuning in every day to find out. You would like a public pool then, because if you like the scenery, you might not like the people, but you're attracted
Yeah,
to
I would
a
go hang
certain.
out. I'd dip a toe
Yeah,
in there. I don't
sure.
mind my toe being pee. Sometimes that cures all the fungus. Not that I have any, but
Especially if you go to like a resort
Yep.
environment rather than a public, and then it's now you're sitting back, you're having a margarita or
Sure.
something, and you're dipping your toes and you're looking at the scenery. That's
Sure.
great.
That's great.
But what I would prefer over all of them, because I am so scared of turtles biting me,
Right.
and scared of snakes and scared of all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll go swim in your pond, but usually I have to I always keep my feet moving, and I'm in a floaty and I don't know how to swim. I
Yeah.
can't touch,
Right.
So
It's weird.
it's anxious for me because I can't swim.
The wife's got some flipper fins now, and she's the same with you. She's got very small feet. My
Yeah.
wife is, for
I have
tall
very
as
narrow feet.
yeah, well, same thing.
Yeah.
You just you can't push enough volume of
Mm-mm.
water to stay afloat. And they help. She said they help a bunch. She was out there in the middle
Just
the other
zipping
night,
around.
just zipping around. She was
Yeah.
going all over the place. So, and
But
their fins are, she didn't get the big old, those real
I'll
long
get
ones.
those.
Those are gross.
They're awesome. Clown feet
Yeah,
ones.
the
Yeah.
clown feet ones. She's got the real small ones.
Well, I think though that my dream would be like have your like you did or like your dad did in the backyard,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
I really want to do one that is um more of a pond style. You know what I'm saying? Like you built your own and it's got boulders and rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've seen people do it.
Waterfall.
It's almost like if you tell people I want to build a pool, like you better have $100,000. And in my mind, like everybody else,
No,
no, I don't. I'll
you
just have to
don't.
dig a hole and put
A
a
tarp in it.
tarp in it, and then
Talking about.
put rocks and
Yeah.
cement and build my own.
Yeah, build your own thing. You can get all those skimmers and filters and stuff like that. You can get them used and just re-put sand in it. We used to do that all the time. Well, not all the time. Every other season, we take the old skimmer, the pump out,
Yeah,
the filter,
right.
and all it is sand. You get all the play sand out of that, and you put some more in the pool sand, and it costs a little bit of money to upkeep. But
Yeah,
hey,
got a pool, dude.
got a pool, guy.
So
Especially
I'm
if you're running
thinking
off
about doing
solar,
that, putting up like a.
hooking it up to your.
Well, this isn't the right place, but I do want to have a place someday where
It'd be
if
kind of
it's
cool
this
here,
freaking
though.
hot,
It'd be kind of cool.
it would be kind of
here.
cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it would be awesome.
Well, I've thought about how ridiculous it would be, which would make it cool.
It would make it super cool pool, man.
But I just think that that's a goal. That's on the bucket list someday.
It is the goal. I would like to have one, we used to go to this one place, the rich place. It's a little trick for you. If you go on trick or treating, which happens every year, by the way,
Yeah,
and
still
everybody
does.
knows this trick. You go to the rich places.
Yes.
We happened to go to one that was owned by Chance. Now, Chance, you won't know who they are, but they've made every single Ferris wheel and amusement ride, roller coaster, like in the nation, like
Yeah, they're the
everywhere.
world's leading roller coaster
Now, what's so fun about
makers.
their house is I'm getting to the pool, but you knock on the door and the butler comes, literally a butler, and he
Mhm.
has the full size. His full size chocolate bars. We're talking about the foot by.
Yeah, the king size.
I mean, we're talking
Huge.
what they used to be. And he'd throw a couple of those in your bag and it weighed you down with 30 pounds of chocolate. But then he'd invite you in and you would get on a horse, a carousel horse.
Carousel.
And would come by the door and you get on it. And then on the main of that, you push a button and it takes you wherever you'd like to go. And guess what? He said, push that button right there. And I did. And it turned around and it went like this into the kitchen, up and down on a carousel ride. And guess what was in the kitchen, bud? Homemade,
Mayonnaise.
close, carameled apples.
Oh.
Grab you a couple. And then you grab
Caramel apples.
you a couple. And then guess
It's
what?
like you're writing to your molestation.
Yeah, I
dude.
know. I thought about that. I mean, later,
Yeah.
as a kid, I'm like,
This is awesome.
crazy.
This won't end with
As
me.
I'm riding a carousel horse through a house mansion, I mean, commune.
Yeah.
I'm riding through it. I peer over. Guess what they had? They had an inside-outside pool. And they had a big piece of glass, like a garage door, that would
Oh, that
separate the two.
separates them. Where
And
you
then you
swim
just-
under, you have to do the duck under.
You could, or you just raise that sucker up. So you just get,
Oh, I got
you
you.
know what I mean?
Really smell like chlorine in there.
Because it was October, a little cold, you would think to swim, but guess what? Had it shut off. So you can dip in there. It's a heated pool.
Gosh, I don't know if I
In
would
the
do it.
house.
Yeah, I don't know if I want. I've
You
thought
can
about indoor
ride the
pool.
horse down into the pool, bud.
I
Like,
wouldn't
mean,
mind doing like a indoor outdoor hot tub. You know what I'm saying? Where
oh, sure.
it can be inside because you
Good
wouldn't
idea.
want to get in a hot tub
No.
right now, especially.
Yeah, it's 113 degrees out. Hey, you want to go in the hot tub?
Oh, looks like I got to plug in the Macintosh computer. Battery's dying, bud.
Oh, well, plug it in. We got to get to our trip. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Conrad and we were here yesterday, and a couple people caught the Rona and rescheduled their interviews, and so we did a great show. It was a perfect show. I'm sure you missed it, but you can go back and look at it. It's been saved on the interwebs in the cloud somewhere. You can still see it from yesterday. But after the show was over, my man Conrad turned to me and said, "I'm going to the biggest Goodwill
Yeah.
in the nation." And I said, "What?" I said, "How far do we have to drive? Because this might be a day trip." And I didn't pack a bag.
Yeah,
And
we
he
had to
said,
drive
"Nope,
to Oklahoma City,
it's Oklahoma
which
City.
is not that far.
Not that far, about 60 miles." And he said, "You want to go?" I said, "Yeah, let's go. Let's do it."
Yeah. And I love Goodwill, and I love the service of Goodwill. I love Goodwill hunting, and I love the retail store Goodwill.
For sure he does. And I was anxious because I heard biggest.
Yeah.
And I've been in some pretty, we both have been in some pretty big Goodwill stores with stuff scattered about the facility. Uh, Now it was around lunchtime, so I was also hungry. So if we're gonna kill those two birds,
Yep. You're in.
let's go do it.
Well, we made the mistake of stopping for
Just a
barbecue,
horrible
and it was
mistake.
not.
Just
I mean, it wasn't at a damn
it's just,
Superdome,
no,
and it wasn't nobody
no,
cooking it out of a file cabinet, or
no.
it was at
It
a
wasn't in a cart.
no, it was a commercial place. I'd never heard of.
Neither have I, dude.
So it's like, is this good?
Do we trust it?
Do we trust it? Maybe they'll have a lunch buffet or something.
Let's go look.
Yeah. And so we made the mistake of going to a place called Swadley's
Don't go.
Barbecue.
Just
Look it
don't
up.
go.
It's in Oklahoma City. It's not that it was horrible.
No.
It's just that
Great service.
and terrific service, but it's the same, there's no reason for food for lunch to be that expensive.
No, there's no reason for someone to pay $40 for a sandwich. It's just not.
It's too much.
You don't want to do that.
And so we felt like we were burned, but okay, doesn't matter, because guess what? You're about to save some money.
Yeah, you are.
You're about to go to the world's biggest Goodwill, and there's different rules at this Goodwill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's a sign outside that says, "Hey, did you pay $40 for a sandwich? Come in.
Yeah.
Make your money back.
Make your money back." And so, I've heard of this place, and I didn't know how it worked, and I've also heard of what we encountered in there happening, but I'd never seen it happening in the wild,
live
in front of me. I could touch it. And so we get to this neighborhood. We pass the beggars, we pass the people that were performing self gratification on themselves, on their genitals.
They did that. That was Mr. Bojangles.
Mr. Bojangles was, he was trying to stay cool under a tarp, but also stay sexual.
Mr. Bojangles,
cut it out, buddy.
Yeah,
and he was he was making his thing dance, and so we honked at him, and then we get around the corner, like, I think that's it, and then didn't realize it's a mile around it. I mean, this place is massive.
Right. We took a wrong turn. We couldn't find the parking lot.
Facility.
It seemed like
there's
hours.
40-yard dumpsters in the back of it, coming out of 7 or 8 overhead doors that are filled with garbage, and
trucks
you don't know if that's
in.
incoming or outcoming. You have no
Helicopter
idea.
flying over, just dumping stuff in the chimney.
And so then they have a corporate side of this, and then eventually there's like a sign, a little arrow. Oh, if you want to actually buy this garbage, come to this side.
Shop over this way.
And so we pulled into that parking lot. Of course, it's full, and said, "Here we go. Let's put our masks on. Stay woke." But
possibly the coolest Honda Civic circa like 1960, like the first Civic.
It's a good omen.
Yeah, it was
a good omen when you see a 80s
hatchback,
70s hatchback Honda. And so we walk up through the double doors, and we go in, and that's when we're greeted by the madness that is this place. Okay, where what they've done is all of the merchandise in here is from other Goodwills from around the country.
Right.
So all the crap that never got sold at Goodwill,
chance.
It then gets loaded onto a truck, gets taken to Oklahoma City, and then what they do is there's no coat hangers, there's no racks, there's no shelves, there's no organization. What they've done is they have these gigantic movable buckets that are about the size of a picnic table.
Yeah.
And about
bigger.
As deep as like a wheelbarrow. So they go down a few foot.
Yeah.
And they, the only organization is these 7 buckets are shoes and boots.
Right.
These 7 buckets are t-shirts. These 7 are sweaters. These 7 are pants. These are books. These are merchandise, whatever. And
this is old microwaves.
So you walk in, and there's
microwaves.
there's people that are pushing these Sam's Club size shopping carts around next to these bucket tables,
Right.
and using their water heads to rifle through, pounds and pounds of shoes, and you're just trying to find a match at this point, because it's not like they're tied together.
Right. Where's this other kangaroo?
And so, and they found them. A lot of these people have found them.
Found it.
Because they got a shopping cart full of shoes. And
I saw one gentleman had 30 pair.
The reason that they can afford them is because they pay by the pound here. So on all their clothing and stuff, it's all by the pound. I think the only thing that was different was the books and records, that might be like 80 cents or something.
80 cents a piece.
So
it's my favorite store.
It is.
I mean, my favorite store is you buy stuff by the pound.
Yeah.
Normally.
It's like 0 to 10 pounds. It's $1.99.
Yeah.
And so people are loading up. But what they're doing is, especially on books or on shoes or on all of it, everybody in this store isn't buying this stuff to enjoy.
To wear, to repurpose.
Yeah. They're buying this stuff to then sell on eBay or Etsy or, some channel like that.
Honey.
All those different places that you're like, where does people get this shit?
Right.
They get it here at a Goodwill outlet.
Yeah.
And so they go in there and they have their phone where you can scan a barcode. And so we walked around, there's just probably 70, 80 people in there, 70, 80 zombies in there that have their phone out and they're grabbing items and they're finding them on eBay. And you can tell what's selling on eBay because if it's not, they just toss it. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
They didn't care. They don't look at something like a Laura Bush book and be like, we should get this.
We should get this.
They don't look at the things that look at this phone, dude. I mean, it's got to be the first phone. We should get this.
Yeah.
And we do it for the joke. Look at this record.
Yeah.
We should get this, which we did.
This is called The Watchman. They're from Oklahoma.
Right. If you want to see the watch or hear the Watchman, this is the only place you can find it.
Stay tuned, dude.
And so we bought a record of the Watchman, which is a Christian band out of Oklahoma City from the 70s.
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so normally you would say, wow, you found your Valhalla, dude. You found your heaven. Everything that you've done to your life led up to this.
Yeah.
All this garbage that
I heard the music when we walked through the doors.
It is. But the problem is I can't be like, I found my low, and that would be my low, which is digging through all these clothes to try to find I'm not going to dig through it. You're dumpster diving. It's indoor dumpster diving.
Here's the problem. It's not so much that they don't have everything kind of laid out. It's not so much that it was all on a dumpster and you feel like you're dumpster diving.
You're dumpster diving.
It's not only that you are dumpster diving,
Yeah.
but it's also the humanity that is populated around you
that makes you feel uncomfortable.
That makes you feel like,
well,
that's it. This is the end of days.
It is. It feels like that. It feels like Arnold Schwarzenegger should come in there with a crucifix and start blowing our brains out.
I was definitely afraid of seeing somebody driving like some sort of Charger through the window, some black Charger through the window with a little, Australian dog and getting out with a double barrel shotgun.
Yes. It felt like Vin Diesel could be swooping
just right around the corner, right around the corner, getting ready to just come in there and swoop down and grab all the products.
And so what you would see is like, we saw this family of Latino people and mom and dad are shopping for shoes and clothes.
Right.
The kids are building a play place in the middle of the aisle. And so they find all the toys that they want to play with. They get a little mat that they found.
Right.
They build themselves a little daycare.
Yep.
And then they watch themselves.
Yeah.
They sit there and watch themselves and you just walk around them as a consumer. Like you could maybe buy what they're playing with if you negotiate with them.
Right.
But really just leave them alone.
They set up a lemonade stand.
They're just little Goodwill babies, dude, that are just stuck there. And who knows, they could go there every day.
No, but they made some good lemonade. I'll tell you that much.
And we saw a man that was dying. We saw a man.
That's true.
We saw a dying man, or we saw a post-death man. It might have been
could have been a zombie.
First post-death man.
We don't know.
This man was, I think white originally.
Really?
White originally.
Huh.
But this man was purple. I'm talking, he was purple. And like, dog, you gotta open your mouth and then breathe, suck something in. Because right now, you've just won the world's longest breath holding contest. You win.
You won
because you're purple, bud.
Yeah, you're purple.
You gotta.
And we thought because we've been that shade of
It could have been a polishing man.
polishing guy.
Yeah.
You've seen pictures of Conrad after he got done polishing, and me, and I mean, just horrible. You can't
Yeah.
get the stuff off.
And
It's got a tinge of purple to it.
It does, and I thought that too, but it looked too painful. It looked too real.
He had a wince. He was wincing.
Yeah, and I think
While
that
he was going
dead or dying.
through all of those CDs that are still around.
Yeah.
For something, looking for whatever he was looking for. He looked in pain, and I don't know if it was alopecia or
No,
what he
it
had
could have
rocking.
been.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? What's that other stuff that that gets spotty? You know what I mean? What is that stuff?
Rosacea
Yeah, that could be.
or
But if it was
eczema, could have been like
eczema, a real
freaking
bad,
horrible case of eczema.
horrible, different case, purple
Yeah,
case of
purple
eczema.
purple
That's
eczema.
what I was. That's the word I was
Yeah.
looking for. Sure. We got up close. I don't know if it's contagious. You'll know if I start turning a different
We did
shade.
get way too close.
Gotcha. Because I peered around trying to look in the man's eyes, just ask, "Are you okay?" You know, blink twice if you need help.
Yeah, like if your career was throwing shade, he caught it.
He
you know?
got it done.
He caught all
He
your
caught
shade.
all of it.
There's
dude.
somebody out there that is a shade catcher.
Yeah, he
and
caught all of it.
He's at Goodwill.
We
right
also
now.
saw a supermodel.
Yep, because
we-
mixed in,
You see him everywhere,
because mixed into
somewhere if you look.
Mixed into the guy that is hustling and jiving. He's shucking and jiving through
Yeah.
there. He's got his Bluetooth earpiece in.
Right.
He's having a conversation about
Got a cigar in his mouth.
Yeah, he's got clothes tied around him and wrapped around him.
This one here will fetch
spiky hair.
$25.
You'll find a damn like a vintage treasure hunter hottie that some hippie chick, that's there, and she's barely wearing any clothes.
Nope, short
and,
shorts
yeah,
and a halter top.
no bra
No.
noticeable because
Little-
there wasn't one.
Nope,
and
there was not one. And then maybe
just,
some
like,
sort
looking
of
through
running
there.
shoes,
Yeah.
and she's just kind of just picking through.
You're gonna get hurt here.
You are not going to survive this.
There's men. This man here will kill. He's a murderer. This is a murdering man.
Yes, he's
You
done
know?
it before.
He murdered before he came here. There's so many sexual predators in there. I'm sure with just a history of criminal record,
Tons.
and all on drug. All these people are on drug, and so
they were on spice and bath salts and stuff. And maybe that's why they were going through everything.
And nobody makes eye contact.
Nope.
At all.
Nope.
It is just you walk around and you grunt. You're like a bunch of
It's business, dog. It's
a bunch
business.
of wild boars, dude. You're just
business. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
And I know that's what they're doing.
I'm going to buy this for cents on the dollar, and I'm going to sell it for at least $2.
What's so
online.
sad about this, and this was I was telling Shane on the way home, it's you go to Goodwill now, like a normal retail Goodwill.
Yeah.
You're giving these people this stuff for free because you don't want it anymore.
I don't want this.
And so if you are shopping, you go in there like, oh, cool, I can get a shirt because I'll wear this shirt or whatever that's for a couple bucks. And I usually like to wear a gray shirt because I'll ruin any other color. I could wear a black shirt, but
I have a few, but it gets hot because we do a lot of stuff. I do normally
outdoors.
outdoor stuff, and there's nothing hotter than a black hat, a black shirt.
So and I love a gray shirt, and especially if it's got a volleyball team on it or something that people are like, how'd you get that shirt? Or if it's part of a marathon race for the Cure or something, 1982, like that's fun for me because people notice it if they look you over and be like, what? It doesn't make sense.
No.
Something doesn't register. And that's my favorite reaction. And sometimes they'll mention it, sometimes they won't. But when you go to the Goodwill and you pick through those, somebody threw this out because they didn't, they died or whatever. And so their family's like, we don't need to save this stupid marathon shirt.
Thanks for asking. I am a Miami Manatee fan.
And then I'll find it, and I'll wear it. And so it had another life. But what normally happens is you donate your stuff. Nobody buys it because nobody wants your old shit. And then I can go buy new stuff for 10 cents more on Amazon.
Sure.
Ship it to me. And so Goodwill says, okay, thanks.
We'll take it.
And eventually none of it sells and they get so much more shit because everybody's got so much shit. It's always coming in.
Yeah, there's so much shit.
So they start getting this shit out of there. And what happens is
they send the shit to Oklahoma City. Oklahoma.
And so you got 5 or 6 Watchmen albums, brand new, never been opened.
Still sealed.
And so what happens is somebody gets on eBay and they go, oh, look, I can do this. I can sell these. And so they buy them and they put them on eBay And then what happens is some asshole from somewhere in the country says, I got to get a Christmas gift and I don't got that much money. I'll go to eBay.
Yeah.
They buy a Watchmen album. They give it to the person that's going to get the gift.
They wrap it.
They wrap it, right? They
Then
send it.
They send it, or they just
Happy birthday.
slide it right under the
Oh,
tree.
saw this on eBay. Made
Yep.
me laugh thinking of you.
Love
All
you.
this trinkety shit.
Yep.
You know, oh, look at this old phone. I thought it was funny. It was $1. You know, thought of you.
Whatever.
Send it. And what happens when that person gets the gift? Guess what?
This is great.
This
Take
is
a
great.
picture of it. Right back
Thank
in the
you.
shit.
And then they go, oh, thanks. Thanks for the old phone. Thanks for the Watchmen album. Thanks for the shirt from the marathon. That is funny. I did participate in that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Grandma. Hang up. Say, fuck, this is stupid. Put it in the pile to go where? Back to Goodwill.
Back to Goodwill.
It is, the cycle never ends. It is
or breaks. And you think, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I live in a small town. I've got one or two of these wonderful Goodwills, right? There's no possible way all these people will recycle it. That's the trick. They recycle it until they don't. Then they send it to a different community.
Yep.
To get into that recycling.
Yep.
It never goes away.
It never goes away. So you know the floating island we were talking about yesterday that's in the ocean
that we
we've
have
got
the airport.
property.
We got property at.
Got property on.
That's it.
Goodwill is we're living in the Thanos floating debris island that is Goodwill of just merchandise shit.
That's right.
And nobody likes it. Nobody wants it.
We don't want to be here.
Nobody gives a shit about it.
Right.
And it just it doesn't stop getting made. Because all of this shit that never goes away, then just every day more shit is pumped out to add to.
That's right.
And there's a tornado of shitty products. And then we have witnessed people they're there buying it at the very end of its life. It's been through this multiple times, and whatever doesn't get saved there will finally go burn on Trash Island.
Well, maybe.
I think it will. I think once that's its final count. If it doesn't make it through that, you got 3 hours out here.
Final countdown.
It's a final countdown. It goes to Trash Island. But some stuff, a lot of stuff, we saw carts and carts full of people saving these items.
Yep.
From their
putting it back into the rotation.
Back into the system, baby.
Back in the system.
Start at the beginning.
Yep.
Put it on eBay.
You don't think you got enough shit, but wait, there's more shit.
Here's some shit.
So you need to go purchase different shit to replace your shit that you already have.
Yep. And you got to give that shit away.
Every once in a while, go through your shit because there might be some shit you don't want.
Yep. And guess what? Put it back in the shit system.
Put it back in the shit system because I guarantee your neighbor that doesn't talk to you wants your shit.
He wants your shit, dude.
And he's going to go to the Goodwill and he's going to buy it. He's going to find it.
He's going to resell that shit.
Later on, he's going to say, I don't know why I bought this shit.
I don't want this shit.
Well, I also don't want this shit.
Nope.
So package it all up and it goes right back in the system.
Yep. Back to Goodwill.
That's right.
The shit system. And
got a circular.
Continue. It's a circled system of shit.
Circle of life.
That, by the way, Goodwill profits from at every level.
Oh, yeah.
Every level of
Every
shit
level.
system.
You want us to pick up your shit?
You know,
$5. It's cheap. Yeah, I don't want to handle it. You know, I don't want to bring it out there. Come and pick it up for $5. It's just $5. Guess what? We'll also give you, a little bit off of your taxes. We'll write this receipt right here. You can keep it.
Who cares?
Keep a regular copy. We know that's important. Got to keep a paper copy of that. Get $5 out, but guess what you're doing later on? You're just talking about the Goodwill. You're gonna see what's going on.
Dude, I think that what happens, is they're the company. Goodwill, whoever runs that, whatever evil Mr. Burns type is running Goodwill.
Right.
He's the guy that is sitting there with that big cartoon-sized spoon and that cartoon-sized bowl of cereal. And he's sitting there eating his Cap'n Crunch every morning with milk coming out of his mouth.
Oops, all berries.
Laughing because what he's watching is merchandise commercials. He's watching QVC.
Yep.
He flips the channel. He's watching some Nickelodeon commercial about a new Nerf gun. And he flips the channel. Oh, new t-shirts. Yeah. Because all he knows is this is all going to come to me.
Yeah, this
eventually this gets to Goodwill.
It sure does.
I sell it.
That's right.
Again and again and again and again and again. And he just sits there and spills cereal.
Yeah.
Cereal man.
That's exactly what happens. And I'll tell you something else, bud.
What's that?
I think it's everybody that ran and started Amway. They got into the Goodwill game.
It's a pyramid scheme, is what you're saying.
What I'm saying is
it's a circle scheme.
They found out about the old Amway. They shut it down.
Yeah, they did. That's just more shit.
If you got a bunch of people that was making all kinds of money from shit,
yep,
it's not so much far of a stretch to say, "Hey, I got a better idea. Let's take this brick and mortar." We did it out of all of these at-home, stay-at-home moms and dads, so they can sell their stuff and have their Tupperware Amway parties. Let's bring it back home. Let's centralize this thing. Let's get a brick and mortar so we can get everybody shit.
Yeah. And they did.
And we'll also sell our shit because it's going to make it in there. We'll say it's from somewhere else. So they kept on marketing. And now you got Serial Bandit laughing as he watches commercials, knowing that at some point that's going to roll through his store.
Everything that gets sold that's new, go to anywhere. Go to a store. Close your eyes. Think of a store. And think of a toy that's at that store. Guess what? He gets to make money off of it.
J.C. Penney's.
Yep. Guess what?
Pogo
he gets
stick.
to make money
I
off of it.
saw one yesterday. It was in one of the bins.
It's
one of
crazy.
the little house babies. One of the little house babies was on that.
And I don't even know if that dude, he probably doesn't have to pay taxes.
No, he doesn't care. It's a write-off. It's a write-off. Government says it's a great idea.
It's already been taxed.
Yeah, it's been taxed.
People bought it originally. So why? I don't understand.
They make money.
It's just insane. And it's insane. And you don't see it when you go to a regular Goodwill.
No.
You won't see it as much.
Huh.
And I'm not saying that you're not still part of the system. You
people,
are.
People on the take, people going to resell stuff. You see them kind of people.
Yeah.
Hot chicks that came from nowhere. Why are you shopping it? They're there.
They're there.
They got to get new costumes for their OnlyFans or whatever they're doing. They're in there every once in a while. So you'll see those two all the time.
I just
the other people that are there with their phones checking prices and stuff.
Monsters.
They're monsters. You'll see some of them maybe if you're lucky, I guess, or not lucky, in your local Goodwill. But I tell you what, you want to treat.
Head on down to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma
proper, and then drive around that building for an hour. Find your parking spot. Hopefully, buy an original Honda Civic hatchback.
I'm sure that works there. Yeah.
Use your walking sticks and go right on in there, and you know what you're gonna find. We don't know. It's different. I'm sure it's different.
It's different every hour. I mean,
every hour they were up. This went through. No one's touching this bin. Incinerator, or hey, maybe they're going to package it up and drive it to California. And here's something that bothered us both.
Yeah,
these guys put this stuff in trucks and they truck it off to another place. What? You have money to put gas in trucks?
Yeah,
to take little shit out of one store to place it in another store, just in case they want to buy it by the pound.
Yeah, and then when they don't. You then package it up again
and send it somewhere else.
And you take it to, hopefully, you probably drive it to Mexico. You drive it to, and eventually it gets to Trash Island because nobody wants it.
Nobody wants. It goes on a barge and it goes up to Trash Island.
And I think the right thing to do, though, guys, is if you are like me and you can't afford to buy, you can't find, you like the nostalgia shirts, you like the shirts that say, so-and-so volleyball or whatever it is, and you like a gray shirt. When I go buy that shirt, I know that this is the end of the days for that shirt.
That's it.
It will be worn out.
It'll be rags.
Right now, it's perfect.
It'll be rags and then in trash.
Yeah. I will not re-enter it back into the system. And even if I did, even the fine drug dealers that work at Goodwill part-time, when you go back to the back to donate, they'll just burn it there.
Yeah.
Because it's so, there is a level, it is low.
It's a very low level.
It's a very low level.
Yeah.
That they will not accept your stuff. But they'll still give you the ticket, and you'll feel like you did something. You donated.
Yeah.
But they open up and they go, I can't wash this out.
No.
They just burn it. And you got to be very low. I'm talking, this is, this hobo.
Yeah, normally, I mean, the amount of ranch stains alone on a T-shirt that's coming from, I think probably either our house,
mustard
households
stains.
it's uncalled for. You just don't. If you know somebody that's harder up on their luck that might want your clothes, that's a better way. You just hand it to them, and I mean, there you go, you go, bud. You don't have to use a company to distribute other stuff, your gifts. Okay.
And a lot of people say, well, I do it because of the tax thing.
Tax write-off.
Well, okay, here's a trick. Give all your stuff away to a friend.
Yep.
Take one item.
Yep.
It could even just be a piece of paper you found. Draw a picture on it as if it's a picture of art.
Draw a turtle.
Draw a turtle or a pirate. Sure. Go to Goodwill and donate that.
Yeah.
And then they're not going to write down what you donated. You get to write that down. Remember all the stuff you gave away.
Right. Write
all
it
your
down.
Other friends.
Yep.
And then that's what you write on the Goodwill thing.
And guess what? If you do that, you might come out as a PI or a VCR technician. That's just a plus.
That's
just a bonus.
Yeah. If you send in that picture to the professionals.
Are there treasures? If you're a treasure hunter, there's treasures.
There's treasures. I mean, there's a treasure. We've seen them yesterday. I just couldn't. I couldn't
bring ourselves to
couldn't deal. And when I saw that Shannon was going to go through with the record buying, I thought I should have
I
bought
got to get
something.
something.
But then a guy touched me and said, they're going to be selling, and I don't even know who he's talking to.
Who is this guy?
He's talking to me, a random stranger, a random damn
He
drug
jumped
head.
out one of the bins.
Yeah.
He jumped right out of it. He was searching the bottom of it.
I seen a pool skimmer. Like I said, I seen a pool skimmer.
Yeah.
This isn't going to work.
Yeah. Good luck getting rid of that.
But guess what? It made it from Dayton, Ohio, down to so-and-so, and finally back up to Oklahoma City.
I didn't even know
Oklahoma.
they had pools in Ohio. You know what I mean? But,
No, they usually crack open a water hydrant.
That's it.
Which, over the weekend, I drank out of one of those.
The fire hydrant?
Like the ones that dogs pee on. Yeah.
How? They had it crack open?
Somebody had, I'm hoping a fireman, but even not. It could have just been some ne'er-do-well, a thirsty man that loves
some
water.
sort of.
And I was on the back. I needed it. Thank God it was cracked open. Maybe God did it. And it was just trickling out. And I thought, oh, I wonder if that's any good. I've always wondered.
Was it good?
Because usually you see it hurting people. You see that water hydrant. If it's involved with people, it's not a good.
It's hurting.
It's not people drinking it. Ooh, would you like a cup?
Yeah,
of
it's either hurting people or saving people, or there's a hose attached to it.
Right.
In that case.
So in this case, I was just trickling out. I found a random water bottle because there's trash everywhere in this place.
Yeah.
And so just filled it up.
Did you donate to Goodwill later on?
Later. I got tax write-off. And so I filled up that water. It was delicious. And because it'd been going for what seems is wet enough to be probably weeks. It's been dripping.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you tell a local firefighter about it? Like, hey, man, you want to shut that off?
It's on private property.
Oh.
So
it's fine. They know about it then.
Yeah. And it was delicious. It's cold. It must be deeper water.
Yeah, it is deeper water.
And so I drank some of that and I felt like, oh, good, I won't die now.
Yeah. I can make it to Goodwill tomorrow.
Make it to Goodwill. I need to go back. I might go today to the other one. They're just good stories. There's a good story when you go to Goodwill. You're gonna see a sex worker. You're gonna see a sex trafficker. You're gonna see a homeless man. You're gonna see a businessman. You're gonna see a witch. You're gonna see
a farrier.
A farrier. You're gonna see an entrepreneur. You're gonna see,
someone grabbing a whole trailer full of Zabatos.
You're going to see it all at a Goodwill at any given moment, and especially at this outlet. If you have a Goodwill outlet, that's what it's called. Go. And bring your gun.
Post haste. Bring your gun. Bring a sack full of money.
Yep.
Or a card. Whatever. Bring your camera.
Yes. It's like People of Walmart is a site that was popular 10 years ago, but people.
Oh, it still is. I think they're still throwing stuff up there.
Yeah, but I mean, and it gets worse and worse every year.
Oh, for sure.
The people of Walmart have leaned into it. They leaned so far that they landed on one of those carts, and now they're just driving around.
Yeah,
they're still good pictures.
Great pictures.
But the people of Goodwill Outlet would be even more. Walmart now looks like Target. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Target now looks like Macy's. People of Goodwill Outlet you found the bottom.
That's it. You can't go any further down from that.
Nope.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking seafood restaurant in the middle of nowhere, Kansas.
Mm-hmm. It's better.
Who's hanging out there on that buffet, on the cart buffet? You know what I mean?
It's better. It's better.
I'm telling you, I've been there. I've eaten that buffet.
Goodwill,
but and between the two, that Goodwill store it's on the lock. It's on the lockdown for sure.
Yeah, it's
of stories.
It's on fleek, man. I think
it's lit.
It's lit. It's fire. And stay woke out there, guys. Get over there at Goodwill.
Yeah.
Stay woke.
Text us your today's pronouns. So
we'd like to find out.
We'd love to know.
Yeah, and we're sending all. If you do want to donate to our Patreon, please consider it's $5 a month. And right now, we're collecting that money, and we're trying to figure out if we're going to send it to Ukraine.
Sure.
We're trying to find the right.
We're working it out.
Charity.
We're leaning hardcore toward Goodwill. Just saying, we're leaning hardcore. And by the way, send your verbs and your adjectives. And
I'm trying to start a late-term circumcision foundation.
You are. You've had a couple people reach out to you that said they were also in that boat, which is disturbing. I didn't know that was a thing.
There's a few.
You were the only one that I've known of that went through it at 21.
Well, yeah, dude. Not a lot of people can remember both. That's why they do it when they're babies, because it's traumatizing. Just like a late-term divorce.
Yeah, well,
I was a product of late-term divorce.
That's not true. I heard of what was his name? Dwayne Bobbitt. That was an old story. He got circumcised.
John Dwayne Bobbitt was late-term circumcised. There's a few of us out there, and that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to connect.
I don't know if he opted in. I think it was an accident.
It was a
Was an
yeah, it
accident.
was an unfortunate
Right. And
circumcision.
then what was the Octomom's husband? I think also was a late term.
I think that her husband is the same guy that killed that Skittles boy.
That little Asian guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
George Zimmerman
That's
was
it.
married to Octomom
Octomom.
before the TV show,
Yes.
and then they divorced. They divorced on air.
Right. Well,
That's how
most
we got
people
to know
don't
him.
know before Octomom was Octomom,
Yeah,
before she was a mom, she was on Road Rules on MTV. Yeah.
with Theo Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn. That's
So
true.
Theo Vaughn and her and
Reach
Bert
out to Theo.
Kreischer were all on Road Rules.
Yep.
So if you think they're funny now, you should have watched them when they were hanging out with the Octomom.
It's true.
Hilarity, you know.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's what.
and also '90s humor,
That's what
which is
made
a different kind of
MTV.
humor.
Made MTV, dude.
Yeah, wasn't the music
Right.
videos; it was Road Rules and reality programming.
For sure. Speaking of which, Duck Dynasty guys are back hunting treasure on their property. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I could have been done with ever hearing from them again, but
For sure. Me too.
they're back,
I
and
guess.
so
I don't know.
they're all on Balance and
That's
Nature
what.
gummies.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're
That's
just
where
we're
at.
just recycling.
Now
I
we're
mean,
recycling reality.
yes, yeah. So Hollywood out
Yeah,
there, and all your other places, Netflix, you're in there too. You know, I just stick you in there. You're just Goodwill. You're nothing but Goodwill right now, and not the good kind.
right. I don't know, dude. I think maybe on the next show I'll theorize. I had this theory
I
about
love theories.
about how to phrase it. I got to think about it because it's about a female empowerment, which is like what people champion now. The body, especially body empowerment.
All right.
You know, where women and also sexuality, like we say, what are your pronouns? I mean, it's all supposed to be out front now.
Yeah.
But also, you're not supposed to be judged by it now.
No.
You know, and so it's such a weird thing to me that here's a blog of mine, here's a video blog or whatever, here's my OnlyFans, and I'm just feeling empowered with my sexuality, and I feel, but I'm wanting to share my stuff in a safe place, but it's not sexual.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's only as whatever I think is sexual.
Yeah.
And what I want to give you. So here's a picture of my beehole. You know, it's a very strange.
That's not sexual though. That's
if
just
she doesn't want it to be, but if she wants it to be, then it is.
Maybe.
But she wanted it to be.
At that
she has to own it at that moment.
Well, she can change it tomorrow, though.
She could change it tomorrow. That's what I'm saying.
sure,
But just this moment
Today,
is this.
right now.
And people think that this is like it's
Okay.
new, it's better.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's better than the past, I guess, or progress. But I was thinking the other day, that's not true. There was a time in this country where, I guess, sexual fluidity or not being judged or whatever was definitely more prevalent in our society.
Yeah,
in
sexual healing.
1988, I think, is the peak of it.
Was the cutoff? Yeah.
Because, dude, in the '88, right now, a woman posting I know you're a hot chick. I can see.
Yeah.
Everything you're doing.
You're in Oklahoma 5. You know.
Everything you're doing shows your curves. I mean, you're wearing
if you're
a
in
bikini.
Oklahoma 5, you are a New York 10. You know what I mean?
Everything you're doing is sexual. Okay, but you know what wasn't? Murphy Brown. She had shoulder pads on, and her haircut was like Brian Bosworth, and
she had a bowl cut.
Right. And so in the '80s, you'd walk around with some weird ass piano strapped to your chest, and we didn't know if you were a boy or a girl, and nobody gave a shit.
No one cared.
No one cared.
No one cared.
And so you could be as sexual as you wanted, but nobody judged you because we didn't know what you were.
Right.
You were wearing a damn Aladdin pants and that weird Vanilla Ice V suit, the V top.
That's true.
Doing this, like, is that a woman? Is that Ellen DeGeneres?
We don't
get
it.
Vanilla Ice.
There was a time where a woman would walk through the city with a mattress strapped to her back, and then she would stop every once.
She's an astronaut.
She's an astronaut.
She's a freaking.
She's on Mars.
That woman's an astronaut.
But when she was doing that back in the day, one, no one knew why she was doing it.
No one cared to ask.
No one cared, and she was doing it to empower women. But that was in the past. That was back there.
That was back there.
We didn't ask that. What empowering women? What are you talking about?
I just don't.
They have the most power of anything on the planet, on this planet, for sure.
For sure, they
just don't know.
They know, but they don't want to admit it because when you admit it, there's a responsibility.
That's true. And also, if you admit that you have the most power anywhere at a company, then you have to have the responsibility, and you can't be a victim.
Nope.
So
because you got the most power.
you have too much power.
And they don't, so they want
got
to
too
slide in the middle.
Too much power
But
and
there was a
privilege.
time, dog, in the middle. There was a time in the 80s when Murphy Brown was there and when John Ritter was out, what is he? We don't know.
He was alive.
He's alive for one, but we didn't care. We didn't care what John Ritter was. We knew he was a little different. You think he went and ate freaking steak fries with John Ritter?
Yeah.
You're not going to be like,
John, where are you at?
John, you were in that Three's Company. Which one? He's like, I just didn't really like any of them.
Oh, yeah, here's my wife.
They were just my good. It's like, John,
Come on, John.
John Ritter. And you got a little bit fancy with John Ritter.
Sure. Well, and here's a cool thing. Back in them days, I remember the days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
the good days. Let's Bill Cosby was drugging women and making love.
Say you had a show called Mark and Mindy.
Yep.
Mark and Mindy wasn't sexual.
Nanu,
dude. Sure, he came out of an egg and he had weird suspenders.
And a lot of people thought that was a female.
Hey, Mindy was a very pretty woman.
But Mork was a pretty woman.
He was a pretty woman too.
Yeah.
There was nothing sexual unless you were an adult. You heard some of the innuendos. You got it. Kids just said, I like the funny guy from the egg.
Yeah,
you know
talks
what I mean?
Fast.
What about Airwolf?
What about Airwolf? How you sexing up my Airwolf?
Meet a different chick all the time. Take her on a date in Airwolf, dude. He would blow up another aircraft every episode, and he'd go after Russians and stuff. There was no weird voting like there is today.
No.
And anyway, but it wasn't sexual. It wasn't sexual. Okay,
and now people are doing sexual things to prove
saying it's not sexual.
Yeah, there's a woman from the hit show Stranger Things, which I saw two waterheads walking through Walmart eating their pizza the other day.
No, Stranger Things pizza. We got to talk about
Stranger Things frozen pizza that exists. Look it up.
Sure does.
And I know two.
Guess what's coming? Gummies.
I know two fire hydrant liquors that were gonna eat some yesterday. But anyways, I don't know where I was going with that.
You were getting around to that curly head red dude.
Oh, I know that guy's
big as his barn.
I was just in the middle of something, and then I started thinking about him.
I know you.
Oh, I got Stranger Things. Oh, yeah.
Stranger Things.
So one of the characters from that show, a woman, a female, daughter of somebody famous, I think, is also a singer.
Of course.
So her latest music video, which I still make, pops off because of the popularity of Stranger Things, and because in the music video she's having a orgy in a forest. And why is she having an orgy? And is her parents okay with it? Yeah,
listen to the song. Listen to the song.
To show that women are in control of their bodies.
That's right. I allowed this to happen. I made this happen. I sent out the invites.
I supported her to have the orgy in the forest in her music video.
I was
to prove that women are in charge. What are you talking about?
I was the one that saved the dates.
Oh,
for that party. For the video.
That's my mom.
Music video.
She's
That's
in the orgy. Guys. Murphy Brown, your life, dude. Yeah. Murphy Brown, your life. Put your shoulder pads on. Look like Lawrence Taylor. Or is that person a businesswoman or a linebacker? And now, what do you do with the NFL? Now the NFL, all they care about is how fancy they look.
That's true.
Oh, well, look at our alternate costumes. Yeah. Shut up.
Play ball.
We don't care that you guys have flat black helmets. Dude. What is your can I have to wear pink size? Gonna go. Shut up.
Back in the closet, Mahomes.
Get out of here, dude. So, anyways, thank you to Goodwill.
Yeah, well, hey, just
sponsoring the show.
Tag it. I want to thank everybody from that music video, the producer of the music video, for the invite to the orgy.
Thank you, Stranger Things.
Thank you, Stranger Things. We got to get that out there. No one knows about that show yet. You will. You'll catch on. And hey, that's a little hint to NFL. If you charged $800 for a ticket to go to your games. Maybe have a room that's full of orgies. You'd have more customers, probably. I don't know.
And it wouldn't have to be sexual, guys.
Nothing sexual about it.
Please
it's about football, dog.
Yeah.
It's about football.
It's about football. And I didn't make sure you tell what you identify as. So,
yeah.
I'm wearing a blue shirt. He's wearing a black shirt.
That's it.
And today we're men. And so thank you for being here. With that being said,
hey, have an okay day.
Yeah. Don't let your meatloaf.